Our protagonists' worlds collide in an unforgettable first meeting, where Emma's initial irritation with Jack's prankster ways sets the stage for an unexpected connection. Time to charge up those batteries, folks, because this connection is about to go wireless. Chapter 3. An Unexpected Encounter. Emma pulled her rental car into the snow-dusted parking lot of Pine Creek Lodge, her GPS announcing with robotic finality,
"You have arrived at your destination."
She peered through the windshield at the rustic wooden building, fairy lights twinkling along its eaves.
"Well, Emma,"
she muttered to herself.
"you've officially lost your mind."
As she stepped out of the car, the crisp mountain air nipped at her cheeks. Emma inhaled deeply, the scent of pine and wood smoke a world away from New York's concrete jungle. She popped the trunk and reached for her suitcase, only to freeze at the sound of an indignant honk. Startled, Emma whirled around to find herself face to face with a large, irate-looking goose. It stood between her and the lodge entrance, neck extended and wings slightly spread in a clear display of avian aggression.
"Shoo!"
Emma hissed, waving her hands in what she hoped was an intimidating manner. The goose, unimpressed, honked louder and took a menacing step forward.
"Oh, come on,"
Emma groaned.
"I did not drive all the way from New York to be thwarted by poultry."
Just as she was contemplating the indignity of climbing back into her car to escape a bird, a deep voice called out,
"I see you've met our welcoming committee."
Emma turned to see a handsome man approaching, his eyes twinkling with amusement. He was carrying what looked like a loaf of bread under one arm.
"Is this some kind of rustic security system?"
Emma asked dryly, keeping one eye on the goose.
"Because I have to say it's very effective."
The man laughed, a warm, rich sound that seemed to fit perfectly with the mountain setting.
More like the local troublemaker. I'm Jack, by the way. Jack Montgomery.
"Emma Rossi."
She replied, unable to help the smile tugging at her lips.
"Any chance you know the secret password to get past Guard Goose here?"
As a matter of fact, I do.
Jack said with a conspiratorial wink. He tore off a piece of bread and tossed it a few feet away. The goose, its priorities immediately shifting, waddled off to investigate the offering.
"My hero,"
Emma said, relaxing as the path cleared.
"Do you often come to the rescue of guests besieged by waterfowl?"
Jack grinned, his eyes crinkling at the corners.
Only on Thursdays. It's my scheduled good deed for the week.
"Well, aren't I lucky it's Thursday then?"
Emma replied, hefting her suitcase.
"I don't suppose you have any other bread-based solutions for the rest of the weekend? I'd hate to be trapped in my room by an angry goose."
I think we can work something out.
Jack chuckled.
Although I have to warn you, I've heard rumors of a rogue turkey causing havoc in the lodge. You might want to stay on your toes.
Emma raised an eyebrow.
"A rogue turkey? Now you're just pulling my leg."
Before Jack could respond, a harried-looking man in a Friendsgiving host t-shirt burst out of the lodge doors.
"Jack, thank God you're here.
He called out.
The turkey's gone rogue."
Jack and Emma exchanged looks before bursting into laughter.
You were saying?
Jack said, his eyes dancing with mirth. He pulled out his smartphone, the latest model, Emma noted, and tapped the screen a few times. Suddenly, a comically loud, gobbling sound erupted from the lodge, followed by the panicked shouts of the host. Emma's laughter died on her lips as realization dawned.
"Wait, you did this?"
Jack grinned, looking entirely too pleased with himself.
Guilty as charged. I hacked the digital turkey decoration Alex bought. It's all controlled from my app.
He waggled his phone.
Pretty cool, right? I figured we could use some high-tech entertainment up here in the sticks.
Emma felt her mood deflate. Great, she thought. A tech bro with too much time and money on his hands.
"Cool isn't exactly the word I'd use,"
she said, her tone cooling.
"Don't you think it's a bit immature to send everyone into a panic?"
Jack's smile faltered slightly.
Oh, come on, it's just a bit of fun. No need to be so uptight about it. Besides, Alex loves this kind of thing.
"Uptight?"
Emma bristled.
"I'm not uptight. I just think there are better ways to entertain yourself than causing chaos."
She hefted her suitcase.
"Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Montgomery, I'd like to check in and relax after my long drive. Without any artificial poultry sounds, thank you very much."
As Emma strode towards the lodge, chin high, Jack called after her.
Don't worry, Dr. Rossi. I'll make sure the big bad turkey doesn't bother you.
Emma didn't deign to respond, but she could practically hear the smirk in his voice. As she reached the lodge doors, she couldn't help but think that maybe this impulsive trip wasn't such a good idea after all. With an annoying goose behind her, and apparently a juvenile prankster ahead, it promised to be a Friendsgiving she'd rather forget. Meanwhile, Jack watched Emma go, his amusement fading.
Wow, tough crowd.
He muttered to himself. He glanced down at his phone, the turkey prank suddenly seeming less hilarious. He'd thought everyone would appreciate a little high-tech humor, but clearly Dr. Rossi didn't share his sense of fun.
Just another uptight workaholic who can't take a joke.
He sighed, pocketing his phone. But as he headed into the lodge to smooth things over with Alex, he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd misjudged the situation, and maybe Dr. Rossi entirely.